All right, so I'm Austin with AA Overland, and we're just going to show you around our Jeep, all the upgrades that we've done to it to make it our adventure vehicle. Start out, it's a Jeep Wrangler Sport with the Black Bear package. It's 2016 model, and we've had it for just over a year. It's got 100,300 miles on it, and so we'll start out here in the front. We've switched out the plastic front bumper that comes on Jeeps with the EAG steel bumper with the bull bar. Bull bar's welded on, not bolted, which we like that. And we've put the Rhino USA D-rings on there, the shackles. We went with the Rhino USA just because they were black, and it came with shackles, but we wanted black ones to black out the Jeep. So we also have our light pods on here, which these are white and amber, just depending on which switch you flip. And on our control switch, flip one, it's amber, flip one, it's white, and that is just for different lighting situations, different dust and rain and everything, so that you have the right light so you can see down the road or the trail. We also have our Smitty-built XRC. This is the third generation Smitty-built XRC winch it's 12,000 pounds with synthetic line, and we have put the Factor 55 flat link on there with the rope guard. The synthetic line and the flat link, that's just for the safety of the winch, of using the winch, so that it's less likely to break, it's less likely to sling around, and you're less likely to come unhooked from anything if you got that flat link on there. So next, I'll show you some stuff we've done under the hood. We've also changed out the hood clamps, so I'll mention that now. But let me get this open and we'll take a look under the hood at some of the things we've done there. Okay, so first under here we have the battery isolator. We have our winch hooked up to that just so we can completely cut the power to it and make sure that it's not drawing from the battery when the vehicle's off. And to make sure, in case something ever happens and the solenoid messes up or it gets hit, anything like that that might cause it to start drawing from the battery, and it prevents people from being able to tamper with it unless that switch is on. Also, speaking of the switches, we have our multi-switch controller box under here. This is hooked up to the battery, and then all of our wires are run to it for our lights and our battery isolator. Anything else that we may need to put on a switch, we can hook it straight up to this. It's got 6 switches, tells you which ones are on. This actually has a voltage meter on here. My opinion, that's kind of pointless. I'm never under the hood checking the voltage while I'm flipping switches, but the switch, this multi-switch controller on the inside, it does have a voltage meter, which is nice. So that's everything under the hood. Let me get this hood back down, and then we'll talk about suspension and wheels. So looking at our wheels and tires here, we've got some Tactic rims. Again, black, we like the blacked out look, so going with the black. These are 17-inch rims, and I believe they're 9 inches wide, so they can hold a bigger tire. Tire-wise, we went with the Milestar Patagonia ATR. This is our adventure vehicle, but it's also a daily driver, so we didn't want to go with a mud tire or something super aggressive to get all that road noise and to cut down gas mileage, because if you have a Jeep, you know gas mileage is almost non-existent, so you want to try and keep as much as you can when you can. We also, because of it being a daily driver, we went with 2-inch leveling blocks to go on top of the springs instead of a actual lift kit. That's something that I would like to change in the future, just not in the cards right now, not something that we can do. Probably go to a 2.5-inch. And then on the tires, these are 285/70s, which is close to a 33-inch tire. It's like 32.8, something like that. Probably in the future go to 35s. If we're getting real crazy, maybe 37s. But we did change our shocks so that we could get a better, smoother ride, and change out those stock shocks that come on the Jeeps. We went with the Fox 2.5-inch Performance Series shocks. Like those a lot. It definitely changed the off-road feel. Really absorbs the bumps a lot easier, and even the on-road feel is a little better with those. Changed out the antenna just because I didn't want the mile-high antenna that comes on a Jeep. This one, I tried a couple of antennas that I found on Amazon, some of the rubber ones. This one I actually got at an auto parts store. I think it was Advanced. It's a metal one. Reception's great. That was something that I always had a problem with those rubber ones, was getting the reception, and you couldn't hardly get radio stations in, it seemed like, especially here where we're at, where not a lot of radio stations come in anyway. And then on our A-pillar, we do have white and we have amber pod lights here. These have flood and spots in them, and we have these running as our ditch lights just so we can get a wide view range when we're on the trail at night, or sometimes even on the road at night, to watch out for deers while we're driving. And then part of the Black Bear package was these rock slider steps. Not much of a step, but it does help a little bit. But they're great for protection. They're pretty sturdy. They feel really good, nice steel. So I think they'll provide a lot of protection if you hit a rock or something too. And then we've also added the rain vent guards for our windows. That's just so we can leave the windows cracked a little bit when it's raining, and we don't have to worry about it getting in. So that's it for the side. We'll take a step around to the back and I'll show you what's going on back there. All right, so back here at the back, we do have the EAG rear bumper. These came in a package from Amazon. Again, solid steel, like it a lot. It's a lot better than the plastic bumper that comes on a Jeep. We did get some Rhino USA shackles for back here also. We also have the EAG tire carrier and tailgate brace. It replaces your hinges for your tailgate, braces it all the way to the tire carrier, puts a beefier tire carrier on there to hold a bigger, heavier tire. These are bigger than what comes on it from the factory, and they are heavier. So wanted to have that so it doesn't keeps your tailgate from sagging. We've also got the LED tail lights. Nothing special about them. We just found some that we like the design of, put those on, and an LED third brake light. And the guards on the tail lights, those are part of that Black Bear package. They're just a little metal guard. Rocks can still get through. They kind of just look cool, but they also can provide a little bit of protection from bigger rocks on your lights. Also back here you might see we've added a little backup camera. It's all part of the license plate light, and so you don't get past the tire, but you can still see if there's something on the ground behind you. Lets you know how close you are to stuff behind you and stuff, which is nice, especially in a vehicle where you can't hardly see below like any SUV. So I'm gonna open up the back here. We'll show you some of the stuff we have in the back and some of our recovery gear. All right, looking at the back of the Jeep, we've done a couple of things to help us with some storage. If you own a Jeep, you know storage is pretty tight, pretty limited. So we have these saddlebags on each side. They've got a couple of they got a big zipper pocket on the front that we can stuff some big things in it, such as our tree saver strap. We also have a tow strap. These are from Rhino USA too. Tree saver strap, we have a tow strap that looks pretty much exactly the same, so I didn't want to get it out. That's just a waste of time. But tree saver strap, we also have a Rhino USA snatch block in here to use with our winch. And these are Go Treads. They're like a Max Track, maybe not quite as good, but they fold up, save some space. We can stuff those in those saddlebags. I have one on each side, and they're there if we do get stuck and we need that traction pad. Some other recovery gear we do have some soft shackles that we use. Prefer to use a soft shackle if possible, just to, again, safety with a winch. You can never be too careful with one. You don't want it to snap, and the less metal you have, the better. So soft shackle, but we do also carry some spare shackles. These are the ones that actually came with the EAG bumpers. we carry those with us too, just in case we need it. Some other things back here, we've installed a light so that we can see at night. As you can tell, it gives you a lot of good light, lights up the whole interior here, lights up the ground for you. So if we're back here getting into stuff in the middle of the night, we can see really well. And then on the inside over here, we have our MyMedic first aid kit. Always good to have first aid kit in every vehicle, not just off-road vehicles, but especially in off-road. We do have a little foldable shovel. Again, space. I haven't decided to start drilling holes in the top to be able to mount stuff on the outside yet. So a little foldable shovel. I think this came from Walmart. Actually, I think this was a Christmas present to me a few years ago. There it goes. So we keep that with us. We have a little foldable handsaw, cutting tree limbs, cutting up some firewood. We do normally carry a battery-powered chainsaw with us too, just in case there's something bigger. But just to have this. This is our winch remote, tire deflator. We've got a knife. We've got a machete in here, a little hatchet. And then, of course, another great thing to have, probably in every vehicle, definitely in an off-road vehicle, you want a fire extinguisher. And I got the one with the quick release mount for it. Again, that's just off Amazon. Just so we can get in here, grab it. You don't want to waste a bunch of time. You want to have that somewhere you can get to fast and you know where it's at all the time. Another thing we carry with us, we carry some bear spray. There has been a lot more bear sightings in this area in the past several years, and actually last fall we went on a trip and we was able to actually see one in our camp at night. Luckily we didn't have to do anything. We was all protected by our Jeep and some campers and stuff, but good to have that with us just in case. And of course, a little bit of nylon rope, paracord, you never know when you're going to need that. And this is some Blackbeard rope. This is fire starter. You shave a little bit off, light it, it burns for a good little bit so that you can get your fire started if you need to. Some other things that we keep with us, if I can get that back in there, there we go. We do have this Stanley Fat Max. It has some USB ports on here for charging up phones or anything else you might need to. It has an alternator checker. It has air compressor. It is not the fastest thing, but it is what we have for now. And it does work. And it also can jump start a battery if your battery goes dead. And then of course, just a toolbox full of ratchet sets and anything else you might need if in case of a breakdown or needing to replace something. Always good to have a toolbox with you too. So let me close all this up and then we'll jump up in the front seat and I'll show you some of the stuff we've done up there. Okay. All right, so looking in the front seat, we haven't done a whole lot up here. Like I said, this is a daily driver, so we're still trying to keep it as close, not close to stock, but just comfortable for driving everywhere. First, we have some neoprene seat covers that we got. I couldn't tell you what brand these are, but they are more of a custom fit without the custom price. I do know that. They come in a piece for the bottom, a piece for the back, and then a head piece so that you can really tighten it down and get it to where you want it to be on the seat so you don't have a bunch of slack. That's pretty nice. This set came with for the front and the back. So we did put all those on. Of course, grab handles, just nice to have, easy, make it easier to get in and out, and also something to hold on to whenever we're hitting those really rough trails, especially for my wife. We did change out the stereo that comes in the Jeep. Wanted something, it came with the little one, without really a screen on it. We did this partially so that we could add the backup camera, and also wanted something with Apple CarPlay so we can put our map up here when we're taking just road trips. We have an iPad that we use with Gaia GPS for our off-road trips, but something up here and a little bit nicer with the little bit nicer setup and looks a little nicer. We also, as I mentioned before, we have our multi switch up here. One thing I did fail to mention is we do have rock lights on the Jeep. Those we got with RGB and white. I wanted the white for whenever we go camping. That was the main reason I got them. When we go camping, we can turn those white lights on and light up the ground. And then the RGB was so that we can change it to colors in case we're getting aggravated by bugs. We can change it to red or something that's not going to attract as many bugs. But I will say the RGB is nice for like the Christmas parade in town that they invite all the Jeeps to, so that we can flash it back and forth from red and green. Just looks a little more festive. Another little thing, this little, I don't know, plastic pocket thing that goes right here in the grab handle. That's really nice. It comes in real handy holding my wife's phone or anything else that we might need to put in there. Just something, another little pocket, another little storage thing, because like I said, storage is pretty limited in Jeeps. If you have one, you know. So I think that's pretty much it for up here. This Jeep did come with the Alpine stereo system. I think they started with this one in 2015. You may have noticed the subwoofer and the floorboard in the back. So we got the Alpine stereo system, and that was another thing with this stereo. It just pushes a little more. We like to listen to our music a little loud, so having that extra power from the stereo to push those speakers was nice. And also, Black Bear package come with a power inverter that's right here. Little 115 volts, 150 watt plug that we can plug stuff into. Jeep has to be running for this to work, which is a good thing because you don't want to pull that much power from your battery all the time. But there if we need it, and we got heated seats, which is also nice on those cold winter mornings to have be able to heat up the seat and get warm a little bit faster. So I think that's it for in here, and I'll meet you back out front. All right, so that's our Jeep. Keep checking back on the page, like and subscribe. I think you got to click a bell or something if you want to get notifications. So just keep checking back as we do more upgrades to it, some maintenance videos coming soon, and then of course adventure videos also. And we'll see you out there.